caveman.
Hi, everyone. Today, me and Janet and others watched a movie from 1992, and it's been an interesting discussion since then. Kind of one of those things where you're in the green room just talking, chatting. Oh shit, it's almost 4 o'clock, and yeah, that's what happened. But we had a good time talking about this movie. This movie is Encino Man,
Mhm.
and it's by Les Mayfield. He's kind of famous. He's done a lot of things in Hollywood. Janet, is this your first time viewing this movie?
Yes, I'd never seen it before. I had heard about it, and a lot of my friends had said that they liked the movie. They thought it was good, and that I should watch it. When I was telling them that you and I were gonna watch it, and I said, "Oh, I didn't know." So
Um,
whether it would be good or not.
did you ever see the one with Eugene Levy and Sam Jackson called The Man?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever see the Blue Williams movie called Flubber, or Robin Williams movie called Flubber?
Flubber?
Yep,
Uh, I don't think so.
it's not a very well known movie.
No,
It was
I don't remember seeing either one of those.
largely
Sorry.
forgettable. And he also directed Blue Streak in '99, which not many people not many people talk about that movie in a nostalgic sense. It's not a bad movie. It's just not really discussed much. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna require alcohol for this one. So Encino Man,
Hmm.
Encino Man's directed by Les Mayfield, and it's got Sean Astin as the lead, kind of like a geeky white guy.
Hmm.
I can identify with this. You saw my desk. My desk got more complicated. Anyway, with that latest fuck up I did, but this movie is not a bad movie. It's got Sean Astin, Brendan Fraser, Pauly Shore, and the main three characters. Right now on Metascore, it's got a 25%.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was very high on Rotten Tomatoes when I went there to look up some trivia and stuff. It didn't look like the rating was very high at all. But it's sad that it had a cult following now. So,
Yes, and it is thought of rather fondly, and I can see why it's thought of fondly. Uh, One of the main reasons is the casting of it. You've got Brendan Fraser, Sean Astin, Pauly Shore.
mhm.
Also, you've got Megan Ward. She's done a lot of work since the late '90s. Robin Tooney, who's done a ton of work. Michael DeLuise, which I don't remember him in anything. I can't remember anything he's ever been in. Pat Van Horn. Uh, but then you got Kihai Kwan, who did a scene, and he's Data from the Goonies.
Yeah,
You got Marriott Hartley, which she kind of like comes off as like Archer, Ann Archer ish, the mommy from Home Alone.
yeah.
She comes off a lot like her. And then
Hmm.
you got the irreplaceable Richard Masur, which I've already explained. I love seeing him in films because he does a good job if you need just like a standard, kind of like a milk toast, normal white guy. Wasp or Jewish doesn't really matter. If you need one of those two roles filled, he's got to be boring. Richard Masur is a fucking salesman. He does it so well.
Hmm.
He does that very good in this movie. And this movie's got a lot of really good casting in it. It's got a lot of good script usage in it. The pacing's good. I don't like it as much as I like Iceman. That's the only problem.
Well, I was comparing it to a couple of other movies, comedies type movies, and I mean, it was funny in some aspects that I saw that I thought were funny because I do like Brandon Fraser, but it was at first I just had a hard time getting into it. I don't know why. I don't know if it was um, because I'm not a teenager or whatever. I don't know, but some of the jokes and things like that were kind of like I thought were very old or boring or
Yes.
something. stuck up. There was a lot of stuck up stuff in it that I just never remember. I told you I have four sisters, and three of them loved all this crap.
Three of them were smoke shows. The other two daughters came into bloom later in life, and when I say bloom, I mean holy shit, springtime is here.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was just not my. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy a lot of that type of humor.
Okay.
But I thought the story was good because you had a two young men that were basically outcasts, because of their personality traits. Basically,
Yeah.
they were nerds, losers. They were on a whole list of things like that, which is one reason why I kind of the story concept reminded me a lot of Just One of the Guys. Remember that movie?
Great movie.
To watch.
Great
And
movie.
it was basically the same concept. You have young guys that all they want to do is be popular before they graduate from high school, to have a girlfriend, go to the prom, all important things to high school students, right? And this I had the part I think I had the hardest time was them two being best friends
Yeah.
because
The
there was nothing about them that would draw them to each other at
No,
all.
that's the part
Nothing.
about the movie that I want to hit on really
That
bad.
is where I kept trying to put myself into the position to think, why would they be friends? Now, the only thing I could come up with, and I have had this happen in my own life, so the only thing I could put in there to make me, and it finally started working, so I started really getting into it then, was I had a friend that had disabilities, and he rode a scooter. Okay. And we would all pitch in and buy gloves and a new helmet, a different lights, get a paint job for his scooter, things like that. He was way older than us, but he acted younger than us, but because of his disability, and everybody just adored him. He was a sweetheart. We were always worried that he was going to get hit by a car riding a scooter, and stuff like that. So that would be the only reason why I would see someone like a young man with rich parents and a nice home, uh, like taking a young guy that was really bizarre and weird and taking him under his wing to because he felt sorry for him and was trying to help him out, because there was no way with this person's personality he was ever going to be able to feed himself, get a job, and take life serious. Just I couldn't see any qualities in him, his personality in the movie, uh, that he was going to be able to take care of himself. The only good thing was when he uh, got on to him for telling him get lost like a puppy, like you would take a puppy at the side of the road. I just adored that scene, where I know it's farther in the movie, but that scene where he takes him and dumps him on the side of the road and gives him all his favorite toys and things like that, basically, and he's just going to abandon him there and says, "Okay, go ahead and leave," you know. It was adorable. That scene was one of my favorite ones when it came to bonding for the three guys to bond
Yeah.
about what's important. Is it important to be famous? Is it important to have the best job in town? Is it important to have the best clothes? No. The most important thing is a good friendship that you can trust. Someone that will have your back and be there for you no matter what. No matter if you lose your leg, that person's going to be there to help push you around your wheelchair, or help pull out a chair for you, or they're just going to be there for you through thick and thin. And that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie, when that character arc happened, and they had both worked together to help him. And then when they were fighting and rolling around the street, beating the shit out of each other, he came in and pulled them apart, basically, and became a man, basically. You know what I mean? A part of their group, or their family. They had taught him how important that was to be there for someone else in need, and he learned, and they all learned from him too. So I thought that was a good scene. If you remember what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I just love.
I thought there was a lot of good scenes in this. The biggest problem that I have with this movie is that Sean Astin and Pauly Shore are best buddies because they just they're so fucking mismatched. Like there's not a single thing in here that screams to me like these two would be hanging out. And not that
Yeah.
Pauly Shore's bad friend, although like we got some people in the chat that are like they should have removed Pauly from the movie. You know, agree with Janet. You know, Pauly Shore's not really good friend material. I don't know about not good friend material. He was funny on his own on Pauly's
Well,
role.
he would have been better with another person like him, like Bill and
Yeah.
Ted. You know, they were both bizarre, so that's why they would bump into each other. Remember on the one I was talking about just one of the guys. You
Mhm.
had the geek with the lizards, you know, and then you had the other one went, you know. You could see why they'd be best friends. They were both that weird,
That
and
shit
they
crazy.
attracted to each other. Yeah, so to me, these two didn't match unless he felt sorry for them when they were younger and took them under his wing and they became friends. You know, like he had to stick up for him and take care of him. And maybe because him having that friend is one of the reasons why he never did get the girl because she could never take him as serious
Hmm.
as someone who was going to look at life and just push the peasants aside and move on with themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she kind of had that attitude. And you know what? Through the movie as it went along, I didn't like her more and more. I didn't like that girl because I
Was
thought
this
she was
one
stuck
Robin
up and
Tooney
stuff.
or Robin?
The girl he was in love with since he was in elementary school.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he had a picture, I almost started crying when he handed her that picture and said, "Look, we've been naked in the bathtub together." When he
Yeah.
said that, it just ripped my heart out. And then she said, "You hadn't showed this to anybody, have you?" And then she put it in her bag, and it was
Yeah.
like, how petty. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know
I had a
why.
hard time with liking her.
I don't know why the script writer was so in love with her because I sure as shit wasn't.
Mm-mm.
And she's played better characters with better writing. I don't know if
She
that's
deserved that guy. She deserved, and then the fact that she asked him on the phone when he's in jail, "Can you ask him if he'll take me to the prom?" I thought that was the lamest thing, and the fact that he hung up on her, I thought was great. But I would have hung up on her for good if I
um
had been him. If I had been his friend, that's what I would have told him. She doesn't deserve you. You're too good for her. I know you don't. Your heart doesn't see that right now, but later on it will because she will never be satisfied with anything you do because you're never going to meet what she thinks she deserves. And that everything she did in this movie proved that to me by the end. She
this
sucked.
movie, like I Megan Ward sold me on her performance in an old TV series in the '90s called Dark Skies, and I think that would have been that's definitely the better vehicle for her.
Yeah.
But she fit really well into the role of the snobbish girlfriend. Why the fuck does he like her? I don't get it. Robin Tooney, the girl that was throwing herself at Mr. Caveman, that was that was definitely my crush in the 2000s
I
because
liked her character.
I
She had a believable character to
very
do what
very
she was doing at that time in her life as a senior in high school, basically, and that he was from out of town. You know, all the things that you like because you could have a good time with this good hot man, this new guy, and he's leaving, and no one be the
by the
wiser.
time he starts falling in love with you, you can kick him to the curb and get the next swinging dick.
Well, yeah,
That's their
especially
cocky
when
bear
they're
song
not
right
from
there.
there. He wasn't from there. That's one
No,
reason why she was
yeah,
attracted. So I liked it. I liked her. I thought she was adorable.
I thought it was funny
Hmm.
just how she was just so uh,
Enamored with him.
enamored. Yeah, enamored is a polite way of saying she was
Yeah,
hot and wet. Uh,
yeah.
she completely was into this guy,
And I
and
had a hint earlier. I don't mean to interrupt again, but I had a hint when the teacher was talking about, uh, you know, um, the caveman era, the ice age, and all the different stuff. And he went up to the two women or young girls in the class, and he said, "You know, you wouldn't want to be with one of these guys," because she said, "Wow, he's attractive or whatever." He goes, "Yeah, they may be in shape because they have to be to survive, but you wouldn't want to be with one of these guys because they'll just come over and they just take what they want. They club you over the head and take you back to his cave." And she was like, "Ooh." She kind of got, all giddy over it. And I was like, oh, she's the one that's going to have her claws out when, like in Earth Girls Are Easy, when
no, I don't
downtown Julie Brown
remember.
goes, he's coming home with me because she saw his tongue go to the bottom of the glass, that kind of stuff. That was what was funny to me
I
about that
guess we
one
have to have
scene.
this conversation. Uh,
It
a
was
while back,
great.
there was a movie that me and Janet watched. It was a documentary on science fiction movies from the 80s.
Hmm.
And the last half of the movie is kind of stuck on Julie Brown, the scriptwriter for Earth Girls Are Easy.
Hmm.
And the camera won't get off her. It's just rooted in place. There's
And
grass
she's
growing under.
bitching the whole time, but she didn't like Gina Davis, and because she was jealous.
And that's fine. That's okay. But I don't need more than 5 minutes out of Julie Brown. And so because of that, like I've never seen Earth Girls Are Easy. And if I can avoid it, I'm going to never see Earth Girls Are Easy. You
Well,
know,
I might just have to get some girls
that's
with me and watch
that's
it.
that's just a movie that doesn't appeal to me. Like I love Gina Davis, I like Jeff Goldblum, but I don't like Julie Brown. Like I
Well, I don't blame you for that. I can understand it. I can
like
totally.
Julie Brown is just an annoying, miserable fucking Hollywood slag.
Mm-hmm.
That was at best ever a mid. If we're gonna fucking use modern parlance, a mid perfectly fucking encapsulates everything she ever accomplished. And she's what we call a hag. A
Mm-hmm.
hag. She does not get you excited, even with her possible experience and plump thighs. No, it doesn't. It passes you by. That opportunity just completely should pass you by. And she's just a miserable fucking person. And here she is in 2021 when they filmed the In Search of the Future. She's still bitter about 1988 making the Earth Girls Are Easy. She's still bitter. She held this on for 36 years. It ruined her entire career. She was never a fucking name in Hollywood ever. Nobody knew who Julie Brown was because Gina Davis had a fucking $1 million smile. How
Mm-hmm.
dare she? And Gina
Yep.
Davis, I mean, it's Gina Davis. We've seen her in various ways and forms throughout all of Hollywood, and
Mm-hmm.
she's a really good actress. She earned every fucking dime she made. But Julie
Yeah, I
Brown,
think
I
she's good
just,
actress too.
I never, God damn it! There's certain things I would go completely a whole hog on the fucking Nazi ideology of throwing them into a fucking fire, and I would let me get the fucking camera on so I can that way I can get this right. Whenever I see myself on the fucking bread cam, the bread tube, me throwing the fucking DVDs of your shitty fucking commie films in the goddamn fire. Fuck you, you fucking piles of shit. Go fuck off with your shitty Nazi propaganda, you fucking pinko commie socialist fucks. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just, I would be so happy if I could just do that. But, god damn it. You got me earlier today, too, Janet, because we started talking about fucking the new Superman shit, which isn't Superman. It hasn't been Superman since.
Well, you haven't seen it. I can only tell you what I got from the movie. I can't tell you what other people got, or because I went there with no agenda. See, I can actually sit and watch a movie and not know anything about the director or really the actors, and just watch the movie for what it's supposed to be, a movie, and take the good and the bad. And when I do get all riled up about the actors, about their political point of view or things they might have said, then I'll be like, what happened with why I didn't go see Captain Marvel. There's certain movies I can't see because I've heard so much stuff from somebody and or certain people, and then I said, well, I just can't go see it because I've already biased before I even sat my butt in the seat.
Keto Simple, I hope you're doing well, sir. Um,
I
there's
just
a
try not
reason
to
why
do
we
that.
don't watch Sean Penn movies on this channel, right?
Uh,
Like, if
I
we
don't
ever,
really like Sean Penn that much, his movies, but I don't really like a lot of actors, and I've told you why I don't like them.
yeah.
And I'm still able to push that aside and watch it and say, this was really good or this was really bad
And
because I'm able to separate it.
one of these days when I'm in a weak moment, maybe I'm sick with the flu or like Wuhan Stansky or whatever fucking you call it.
Hmm.
Uh, maybe we'll watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High and I'll smash my dick with a hammer on camera. I don't know, but like I I
Oh.
just don't like we
I
have
mean,
had
I don't really care for Sean Penn that much either, so it's not like you're gonna make me cry by not watching his movies.
so Yeah, exactly. The Fly is a fucking quality film. The problem is that Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis were the ideal couple, and
Yeah.
Rennie Harlan came along and stole her away because he was a director.
Hmm.
And then they had an unsuccessful relationship. And Gina Davis in the 2020s is like, I fucked up. I let Goldblum go.
Hmm.
And we found that out through numerous avenues. That's out there.
Hmm.
Um,
A lot of people make mistakes like that. Look what happened to Mel Gibson. He had a wonderful woman that gave him a buttload of kids and was always there for him. And what he did some bad, naughty stuff, and she divorced his ass.
yeah,
Same thing with Hugh Jackman. He was married for a very long time, and I don't know what happened for sure, but uh,
fucking
after their kids got big, he decided that they didn't want to be married anymore. So, and
and
now he's got
it's
younger women. So that's usually what happens.
okay when you guys start feeling like you're gonna maybe split apart. You have to have a talk. You have to have a communication, and she has to be okay with like fucking somebody different. Hold on, work with me here. I didn't say fuck someone else. I said somebody different. So there's wig shops. There's clothing stores. Have
Mhm.
a date night where y'all are going out.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I tell people to do that. Take your wife. Tell her we're going to go to a
Which is
special
what it says.
dinner, and I reserved some tickets or whatever to this show, and we're going to go to this Italian restaurant or whatever. But you show up alone, and you happen to see someone across the room wearing a certain outfit, and it's a mysterious dinner where there were, wig, maybe nothing under their trench coat. Who knows? But the mysterious, and date. Go on
Yeah.
dates
Seriously, try that one of
for
these days.
fun, and see what happens. See if that spices up your relationship. You just don't know until you try it. But if you love someone, you're willing to make different choices that may be a little different than what you normally would try. But why not? What do you got to lose? But your marriage, right?
Yeah.
So
And
go for
just
it.
as the man who focuses on his wallet way too much, like
Mhm.
protect your wallet. And Wolf Tin Media, you're not going to offend me about anything that anything anybody says positive or negative about whatever this movie is that's supposedly called Superman. It's not affecting me
Mhm.
because none of these movies since 2007 have been a Superman movie. None.
Yeah, I
They've got,
know.
they've got the costumes. They've got a, a lot of money behind it. That's great. But they don't have any Superman that's got truth, justice, the American way.
I saw it differently. I
I
saw
like
that
Brandon
in this
Routh.
movie.
I love Brandon Routh. I think he's a good actor, and I think sometimes he's a complete dick.
Hmm.
I think he was used just for political points in The Rookie, and that's one big reason why I stopped watching after season 5 of The Rookie, because they just were going too hard on the racial political divide. And I watch TV to kind of get away from stuff. I don't need an echo chamber in my entertainment too.
Yeah.
I've already got Janet in my life. I mean, she kind of we kind of like just sit there and go, I hate commies, and she's like, I hate fucking yeah, communists, and that's what we do. But
Mhm.
it just is a problem when you have a traditional character like Superman that we haven't seen on film properly since 1990 when Gene Hackman invented Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that. That's my biggest problem. I mean, you can say you can say whatever. Oh, it's Superman. That's great. Well, I got a 3-year-old neighbor that says they're Black Labrador, and then she takes her school bag and runs on in the house. I don't really believe it, and that's exactly how I feel about all this shit going on in Hollywood, where they say, "Oh, we've got a brand new Serenity coming out, or we've got a brand new Superman coming out, we've got a brand new franchise you love coming out," and I'm like, yeah, I'm not giving you money. Fuck off. And they've taken away everything but the name that
Hmm.
made it great before. And as much as I do like Henry Cavill, he's not an American, and he didn't understand the assignment of being Superman. He didn't get the truth, justice, American way shit. He didn't understand being a product of an American system that Superman is and always will be.
Hmm.
If new Superman might be something else, that's great. Well, just call him something else but fucking Superman. I don't give a fuck what you call him, but he's not Superman. And this new kid that's playing Superman, everybody I've heard talk to about this movie, except for Janet, has said that this guy is like he's support man. He never wins a fight by himself. He's always got rely on help and shit. And Janet's like, you better watch the movie first. Well, listen,
He does win fights with by himself. I don't know why they would say that. It's because they already went in there with a chip on their shoulder, and you can't go watch a movie and be not biased if you've got a chip on your shoulder already. You just
and
can't.
that's why
It's
I'm not going to
impossible.
waste my time watching
And it's
this.
good, and you
Ever.
shouldn't. I don't think you should go see it. If
It's
it's
not.
going to upset you, or you're going to go there and knowing in your gut, I'm going to hate this movie. Don't waste the money. Go see something you want to see.
I can't even watch Man of Steel anymore because one, it's not Superman. Two,
Mhm.
it's like somebody gave Dragon Ball Z cape and tights, and that's cool.
Mhm.
And like they got a lot of other things right in a Man of Steel movie, but they didn't get Superman right. And I don't know what the fuck the script was calling for, but Henry Cavill plays a confused 30 something. And most guys at the age of 33 have an idea of what they're going to do. Most, like 90%. A guy that has super strength and can fucking do things
But he's
would
the
probably,
only one in the whole world.
he probably have a lot better clue what the fuck he wants to accomplish than the rest of us. That's just
Maybe.
me, myself thinking.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm 5'6" and I can't bench press my own weight at this moment. Well, I can, but it takes a lot of struggle.
Well,
The thing is that we had a Superman movie that wasn't Superman. I can't believe that uh, Paul Kent or the elder Kent, senior Kent, told Superman or Superboy, "Don't show them what you can do. Don't save me." I fucking don't believe that. I just can't because I've read older Superman comics, and while he wasn't a selfish man, he would be able to have a sense of self-preservation. Like if he dies, Martha is a widow. Martha is alone. Martha's got her son who's superpowered, but emotionally he's not completely a man yet. So there's no reason for her to be emotionally alone. He wouldn't have fucking said, "Go ahead and let me die." That was stupid. And then the only part of the fucking Man of Steel movie that Bruce actually liked is every part of the movie with Kal El with Gladiator. That was the only part of the movie I liked. Every part he was in with him, where he's riding around on a dragon or he's fucking appearing on different parts of the ship, telling his son about his history and heritage. Awesome, fucking wonderful, real patriarchal uh, teachings there. Very good.
hmm
The rest of that movie was shit, and that's the biggest problem I have. I hate, yeah, the undecisive answers. I haven't seen the new Superman movie. I can't watch it because no matter what, I'm going to have this bias in it, and I won't be able to enjoy it. I'll have to rewatch, and I just have a real issue with wasting that much time on a movie that was made by what, James Gunn? Nah, fuck that.
But
The last
don't worry about it.
the last movie of his I really liked was Dawn of the Dead in 2004. Russell Crowe. Thank you, Lloyd.
Well, the thing is, each of us, we all have our own personality, the way we were raised, what we believe in, and what we like and what we don't. It's just, that's who we are. It's we learn as we grow, basically. And so when you someone asked me, well, what did you think of that movie when you went and saw it? And I say, I loved it. I thought it was great. Just like I told you, Dungeons and Dragons, I loved it. I thought it was great, but you didn't like the director and you didn't like this and you didn't like that, so that already ruined the movie for you. I like the acting, I love the comedy in the movie, I love the sets, I love the costumes, I loved all that different stuff. It had nothing to do with any of that because I didn't know anything about the actor's past or the director's past or who was donating money to the movie or who wrote the script or any of that. I left everything
Ladies
outside
and
except
gentlemen,
for
we
me
get
watching the
another
movie.
mini review today. Another mini review you didn't pay for. You want to know about what I thought about Dungeons and Dragons 2022? All right,
Did
well,
you see it?
I did.
But we got to remember too, I saw it as a new learning player
Okay.
playing Dungeons and Dragons that I wanted to play my whole life, and then I get to see a movie where it's a similar character in the movie of me in a game, and I have a coin that I can give to a dead person and get them to answer questions for me, things like that. It was like it came to life for me, and I loved it. I can't help it. That isn't my point of view of the movie because that's how I saw it through my eyes.
I think that's wonderful. My biggest problem with the Dungeons and Dragons movie is that's a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Hmm.
It doesn't clarify that it's set in Forgotten Realms. You hear it in the text or you hear it in the dialogue, excuse me.
Hmm.
But when I think of half orc women, I don't think of a svelte, tiny, demure girl that can pack on 8 pounds of muscle in 3 months of working out.
Hmm.
I think of, well, I'll just show you.
Someone like Gina Carano.
Yeah, Gina Carano, like Michelle Rodriguez is miscast in that movie.
Mhm.
She really is. And I think Gina Carano would have been much better. That's this is a half orc miniature, kind of
Mhm.
butch, kind of beefy. That's what they are. They're big.
I know that just like I said about X-Men when they made Wolverine movie, I wasn't going to go see it because I have Wolverine everywhere in my office. I have tons of Wolverine comic books that are autographed by the cartoonist and the writer because I love Wolverine. He's one of my favorite next to Morbius and Deadpool because I love anti-heroes. And I was crushed when I found out that they were going to have Hugh Jackman be Wolverine. I'm like, Wolverine is short and stocky, not tall and hot, you
Like
know?
this
So I
movie.
was bummed out. But guess what? When I went and saw it and I saw the how hard he tried to be the character for the people that were watching it, I gave him a break. And guess what? I liked him as Wolverine after that. Once I
He's all
realized
right,
that
Wolverine.
he's an actor.
Yeah.
So
Uh, she wasn't
I
given
love
much to work
this.
with.
Mhm.
She's a little bit more beefy than what she is in like the Fast and Furious films,
Yeah.
but she's not the way she needs to be if she's a half orc in Faerun. Because
Hmm.
half orc women in Faerun, they would have 30 more pounds of muscle on her. So either
Yeah.
they cast her right with Gina Carano or the lady off of The Expanse that played Bobby, or you put on some, what do they call that? The Uncanny Valley muscles on her with AI. Because everybody's doing it now. They're putting
Or a
on,
beef suit. I mean, they have suits too, that
yeah,
silicone suits
yeah, they could do that.
that
But,
add muscle and stuff
but
too.
she's poorly cast in this movie. And Honor Among Thieves is not a bad film. It's just not a film I'd probably willingly watch again unless, like, you guys force me to.
I'm not going to force you to watch any movie you don't want to watch.
I'd like to see them do a good movie, and I don't think I'll ever see that unless it's done by an independent guy. Because this is not the type of D&D movie I wanted to watch. It had some interesting stuff, but it rates low, so low that like I'm going to say that the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie
Mhm.
is a 40% for Bruce because there's a lot more I hate about it or don't like about it than I ever want to watch again.
Mhm.
And
Well,
yeah,
no.
difficult to do a tabletop fantasy game as a movie. They should have taken just a storyline from the old cartoon and
Mhm.
made that. In fact, they had the cartoon heroes get killed in the arena scene of Honor Among Thieves, which I thought that was there's no reason for even to show that because that's only just to kind of piss off the grognards like me.
Mhm.
Anyway, and Man of Steel is a better Jor-El, but Brando is a superior Jor-El.
Mhm.
I kind of agree. Brando's presence in the first movie, the first two films, is fantastic, but Russell's performance is just 10 out of 10, and he's the only shining light in that movie for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, Cassian Malin, yeah, dude, we Completely, we could have her as a muscle mommy, half orc
Mhm.
character. No CGI muscles, please. I'm fighting Cal mustache flashback still. Sorry,
Well,
sorry.
I was just saying, me going in there not knowing everything about all these different types of characters, um, you know, the details into,
But
because I still have to ask all those questions. I didn't see anything wrong with any of the
so,
characters.
I'm going to say that majority of people that don't play the game that saw the movie
Mhm.
probably enjoyed the movie a lot more than people that have been in the hobby for 40, 50 years.
Yeah, see, I haven't been. I've only
And
been in for
and
like
I'm not saying
almost
that
2 years.
like I'm not saying that the people that are normies don't have a seat at the table to discuss that. They absolutely do. If you spend the money, go ahead and talk about it.
Hmm.
Uh, I just I didn't like the movie as much as I wanted to. The Guardians of Dungeons and Dragons did not work for me, and that's what the movie felt like it was trying to do. It was trying to be a Guardians of the Galaxy with D&D as a backdrop.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all.
They,
But
I,
but you got to remember the people that I went to see the movie with. They're people that love nerds and learned about Dungeons and Dragons from watching a TV show called The Big Bang Theory. So that person goes buys a ticket to go see it, and they think, "Oh, it's just like the game." Because the game that they knew is from a TV show that writers wrote that probably never played the game. But the thing is, the characters that I watched evolve in front of me, and the casting spells and doing the things, it just opened up a giant book of magic for me, and I just loved it. I thought that
so
was
you kind of
so.
saw when you saw the movie, you kind of saw like Luna and Stian and everybody
Yeah,
else.
that's what I saw. I saw
Okay.
my players that I play with, seeing them come to life on a board, especially the bard, whole thing with the bard. I had no idea what a bard really was and why they are important. You see what I mean? I
Yeah.
just thought of it as a drunk person that goes around and sings and dances. And sometimes, if he wants, he can play the right song and give you guys some inspiration. But that's it. That's how I looked at a bard. So once I saw this, I was like, wow, it's way more detailed than I expected, but I loved it. I thought it was great. It's a great movie.
I I'm not gonna bash the things that I don't like. I've said plenty about it since 2023. I
Mhm.
just am I'm saddened that it is going to be a standard of fantasy culture in like 10 years.
No, I didn't see that. Do you see what Shadow has just
I
said?
just heard that.
Oh my goodness, no. But what did I tell you? What did I tell you the day that they
We
moved
all
her to
know
this low maximum security prison? I said, there's no cameras there. Why do you think they moved her there? I wouldn't want to be moved there if
they
I
want
was
her to
her.
go away. They want her to be
Yeah,
burned
that's what
off.
I'm saying. Somebody wants her gone. I'd be looking into who is the one that pushed her to be moved there, because it wasn't Trump. He didn't say that he wanted her moved. He just said he sent some people to interview her. That was it.
So back on the topic of Encino Man, which is why we have gathered here
Yeah.
today. Um, oh man, Wolf 10 Media, fucking, that's a strike if I ever saw it, dude. Thank you. Big Bang Theory has ruined a generation of nerds. Yeah, that it has.
Well, um, I
No,
was a nerd as long back as I can remember, and I still feel like I'm a nerd. I'm not maybe not as good as a nerd as other nerds might be, but I just know what I love. I know what I like, what makes me happy, and to me, my sisters always called me a nerd, so that's why I guess I'm a nerd. But yeah, this movie wasn't as good as I was hoping it to be, and I think it was because it was there was a lot of little things like the two being best friends that kind of like took it out of the realm for me. I had a hard time trying to accept that they would grow up and be friends because they were nothing alike at all. So that was one of the things I had a hard time. And once I got over that, which was like a third of the way through the movie, I started to accept that they're friends. There's
yeah,
nothing to it.
and it took me some adjustment too, and it's not your statement's not lost on me. I feel like there was 30 minutes of the movie I missed because my brain's going, why are they friends? Why are
How
they
did
friends?
they meet? That's what
This
I
kills
was
me. Like
struggling with it.
I seriously was like wandering through the movie like I don't understand how these two are buddies. Like
Well,
Pauly
see,
Shore
I
because
had a hard time with him being liking her since he was in elementary school and still wanting to be with her when he said that I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for his character because he had a friend that is never going to amount to anything. He's never going to be able to support him or help him later on when he has a family one day or a job and has all these problems. He's got a crappy friend that is going to be there to say, "Yo, man, whatever." I don't know. I just didn't see him as a serious character. And then the woman that he's been madly in love with all these years that he carries a picture around with him when they were little, and she doesn't give him the time of day. She treats him like a flea, and he still says stuff like he's fixing her up on a date for the prom with a guy that he dug out of his backyard, and he says, "Oh, she smells so good." It's sad. I had a hard time trying to root for him because he was so messed up in his life that I just felt sorry for him. I just wanted to take him and slap him around a little bit and say, "Wake up, buddy. You are digging your own hole and you're never going to have a life because you're wasting it on these two people." That's what I wanted. I
I,
wanted so bad to do that. It was terrible.
this movie doesn't work for me, and I just hit something in my head about 5 seconds ago when I threw that brush away, and my problem is that this movie's in California.
Yeah, you definitely
It,
tell.
no, 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 no. It just follow me here. There's no need for these main characters to be in this movie together as the hub they are. This is not Dizzy and John and Doogie Howser from Starship Troopers
Mhm.
that naturally would kind of gravitate together and be around because you got the jock, you got the hot chick, you got the nerdy guy that turns into a Nazi psionic later. This isn't it.
Mhm.
This movie would work perfectly in Eastern Europe in the 90s because follow me, if you have a neighbor, that kid is Pauly Shore, and then you don't have any other neighbors that have kids hit your kid's age, your kid and that kid are going to hang out because they're the only two young kids in your apartment block. And if the girl next door was bathing with your son, you took a photo of it back when they were kids, and ever since then she didn't really like him too much,
Mhm.
but they still hung out, they still talked, and he was still there in her life as kind of like that guy hanging on for old glory's sake. I can see us together in love. I had a woman in my life when I was a very young boy that I thought I was going to marry. She was in
Mhm.
my graduating class, and I've never talked to her since I turned into an adult at the age of, what was it, 20? The last time I saw her.
Mhm.
And like, she's stopped by my parents' house because she lived like 3 blocks from us in a town of 400 people with no alcohol establishments inside the community. Uh,
Mhm.
she's talked to my parents. She's waved at me on Facebook before I got rid of that account.
Mhm.
But there's nothing that would keep a person like us, like people like us, together because we're vastly different. Once we got a chance to stretch our wings and enjoy who we actually are, she wanted something much different, better, and she found it. I mean, when her husband takes fucking F1 cars to Nürburgring and gets to drive them on
Yeah.
off days, that fucker. That's what I want to do as a hobby. Anyway, um, but not wreck and die or become Nicky Lauda. The other thing is that I wanted to have toys as an adult and still fuck with them and do fun stuff because I like fun stuff and
Yeah.
about movies, and
Mhm.
that's my hobby, and I enjoy this. But like, I could see this movie working out if the setting was like Eastern Europe, like Eastern Bloc, late 80s, early 90s. This movie works because your kids are forced to be together in an area and they're gravitating around each other because they're the only people they know and everywhere else is scary.
Mhm.
That movie works. That movie works great for me. This movie does not work for me in the least bit in California because once you're in like LA County or whatever area that you're at,
Mhm.
your kids sent to a 2A or 3A or 5A school, whatever the big high schools are with thousands of fucking children. Like there's more kids in this school than at sailors on an aircraft carrier.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. Your kids have the ability to pick and choose where their friends are at, and they're going to find kids like themselves and people like themselves. Pauly Shore doesn't work in this movie. It's a Pauly Shore film, but he just it doesn't mesh up. He plays a fun character,
Mhm.
but this is not the movie for him. And I can see why this movie didn't make it that big back in the day.
Well, remember the scene where Pauly Shore takes them to the park and they're riding the roller coaster over and over and over again, and then they're
Yeah.
eating, and then they're running around and being stupid, hitting people, and tapping them on the shoulder and running the other direction. All that.
Hmm.
That's what the whole movie would have been like if you left it to just be Pauly Shore being the guy that found him in his backyard in the
Yeah,
pool.
it would be an hour and a half of having a buzz
Of
with Pauly
slapstick
Shore.
humor, basically. You know.
I'm not really upset about that idea. I would watch that film, but I this movie was packaged and written for Pauly Shore,
Mhm.
and it's very apparent when you watch the movie that Sean Astin is there because he was paid $250,000 up front to be in it, plus some on the back end, and he's just there to collect this check. That's it.
Yeah, because I found that one little article that said that he didn't. Sean Astin did not want to make this movie. He
Nope,
was sent the script, read it, and thought it was the biggest
he was a
piece of
piece of
shit
shit.
he'd read in his life. Okay. And then it says shortly after, Jeffrey Keisenberg personally called Sean, asking him for his commitment on the film, and he offered him 150,000 plus 400,000 on the back end. Sean tried to respectfully decline and even asked if they were willing to listen to his own ideas to make the film better, but they said no. They were concerned that the money of the film would make, so they had to make a certain amount of money, I guess, because they needed a Pauly Shore movie or something. And that does happen a lot, in Hollywood, where they'll get an actor or an actress like what was her name, the one that played Captain Marvel. Okay, and because
Brie
they
Larson. Oh,
okay,
okay.
when
I
they
got it.
got her, they would say, we're getting her to sign up for this movie, and this is her new person who she's going to be, and we guarantee that we're going to put her in 2 other movies. See what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's in your contract. So if they made a contract with Pauly Shore for some other movie, and then they said, well, this is another movie they had to make to go with it. See what I mean? So they'll take 2 or 3 scripts, cut them all up, and make one to be able to specially make a movie for that person, to make sure that they're getting their contracts filled. Even if the movie is they're only in it like, actually a third of the movie, they have to put them in it. They have to give them a movie because there's a contract, or they have to pay them and not have anything. See what I mean? So it just depends. I couldn't really find anything. I didn't have time to search because I hadn't seen the movie before, so I didn't get to search it during the movie because I missed it. But the little bit I was able to look at while we were talking backstage, um, yeah, there was Ben Stiller is the one that was in the small movie that they make to go and pitch movies to the to the big uh, companies to see if they can get someone to want to make the full script into a movie. And they used Ben Stiller and a couple other actors. So sometimes a person can see it and say, well, we're going to have Pauly Shore. We got him. We got Brendan Fraser. We got these big names, and we're going to put them in this movie. But this gives you an idea what the movie is going to be like. And sometimes they can see it, but they don't really see what will actually the movie will really be like, because you don't get to see the chemistry between the two actors, that how they're going to work well. And sometimes it works really well, and then other times it's like it doesn't work very good. It kind of falls apart because it's not believable enough. there's gaps in the personalities, and that's what I saw. It was blatantly obvious to me. I didn't understand. I had a hard time struggling to understand why these two people would even be friends, uh, and be friends in high school, when both of them had two totally different points of view of what they wanted in their life. And I just didn't it just didn't click for me. And
No,
the fact that he's still swooning over this girl that treats him like a piece of shit
yeah,
after all these years in high school, you'd think by now he would have dated another girl or something,
I'm a real fan of the actors in this movie. Like, there's not anybody in this movie that, like, if they decided to make a movie, I would boycott. I wouldn't
Yeah,
cancel it.
I liked all the actors too. I just didn't
I
like what they were
The
doing in the
script
movie.
is
Yeah.
shit. And Sean Astin's right. I mean,
Hmm.
not often do I agree with somebody personally in Hollywood on something, but this is a shit script.
Yeah, it was
And
not very
I
good.
think the acting is good. I think it's fun to watch this guy be a caveman and then try to go to like suburban man. I think that's cool. He goes to literally Encino man. He's playing video games and enjoying his life, not having to hunt for food, and he just gets to like carry a lot of dances. That's
Well, yeah, but they
cute.
did try to make a thing showing he was lonely and he missed his girl, his woman that
Yeah.
got buried alive in the cave when he did and got frozen. So, and then isn't that when they make
If
the
that
second?
was no, if that was just the case, they should like dig like 3 foot away from where they found his ice block.
Yeah, you'd think
See,
that's what I was having a hard time with. I'm like, you see him in the cave, you see it collapse, and there's him and her in there, and he just brought her food, and they hugged, and then the cave, there's an earthquake, and every time that they emphasized on the movie, because they'd show a close up of a cup, and it was wiggling back and forth, and stuff like that, because it was constant tremors. So I kept waiting for them to find the woman, the other woman, and make him happy, because now he has his woman, and then he can have his woman. You see what I mean?
how did it fall? I mean, is he like 20 foot up and off 13 degrees northwest?
Yeah, it couldn't have been
You
that
know,
much different.
like
They couldn't have been miles away from each other.
no,
They had to have been within so many yards or so. So to me, I just kept waiting for the next earthquake to crack open just enough so you could see the chunk of ice come out and she'd be in it. See, why did they put that in the beginning of the movie and then not, and then show a couple scenes where he's sad and he misses his family, because that's what he learned when he learned what the
he should
word
have
was.
plowed Robin Tooney.
you
That's
know
all I'm gonna
so
say.
the script, that's what I'm saying, the script was flawed, severely flawed in this movie.
Yeah,
Usually I always go on to the people that are editing the movie, but this movie is another one, like a few others that I've mentioned. The script was just so mangly. To me, it was, like I said, I think it's three or four scripts that they chopped up and tried to make one, and they tried to focalize around the Encino man. That somehow came in there, and then they had to have Pauly Shore. He's this kind of character. You see what I mean? It didn't mesh. The puzzle pieces were like being crammed into places they didn't belong. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So it just didn't. The movie just didn't add up. It didn't make any sense. It had funny stuff in it. It had good actors in it, but they had crappy uh, script lines. They just didn't have a good story to put them all together and make you care about them. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
So all I cared about was slapping them around, saying, "What the heck, you guys? Grow up." To me, the caveman was the smartest one in the whole movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I hate to
Uh,
say that, but
I,
yeah,
I've got a page pulled up because you picked on
yeah.
my other favorite actress to pick
Hmm.
on, and in another reality, in another place, uh, I fully believe that Brie Larson is a normal, kind of quiet or timid housewife. She's got like 3 to 5 kids, and she
Hmm.
makes her husband happy. I want to believe that there's a parallel or alternate universe where that's going on right now. I honestly believe that's a possibility, and I honestly think that Brie Larson could be that happy person. Uh, and I just pulled up her IMDb page and just okay, she's an avid gamer, huge fan of Super Mario Brothers video games. Oh, that's cool. So is the rest of us Gen X people. Big fan of Metroid game series and has expressed interest in playing their main character Samus Aran in a possible movie adaptation. Please don't. Please don't. In this movie, Captain Marvel, she insists on having ankle-length body armor as her character's primary costume. According to Larson, I couldn't see myself strolling around in a bathing suit for 2 hours and change, referring to Carol Danvers' red Kree uniform and black warbird outfit, both of which bared her legs. Well, don't worry, you're not really the real Captain Marvel. You're just some miserable fucking Carol Danvers. Uh, Monica Rambeau is the real Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but the thing is, they brag about her supposedly being into gaming and all this different stuff, right? And then they talk about how she liked this character and blah blah blah. But all she wants to do is change the character from what
What it
it
is,
was to
her
something
shitty
else.
version.
That's what I'm saying. That's what hurts our genre, is because they get actors like like the Mandalorian that doesn't take off his helmet if he wants to have scenes where he's talking to himself or just to the baby Grogu or whatever without his helmet. That's fine, but to anyone else, he doesn't take his helmet off. It's just ridiculous that we keep getting the same dribble because the actor doesn't like being in a helmet. I mean, why did he take the part then?
So my
All
favorite
that
part
kind of stuff
about
doesn't make sense.
my favorite part about Brie Larson is her IMDb page, and I highlighted this for you. She doesn't like auditioning for horror movies because you have to mime and react a lot. You mean like act? You
Yeah.
fucking little slag! I swear to God, like she should fucking retire. She's over. I can't fucking stand Brie
Well,
Larson.
somebody loved her enough to want to give
Kevin
her that
Feige
part.
stuck his fucking 3 inches in her.
Probably, I don't know. But what I'm saying is they wanted her for that part.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. And nothing else mattered after that. So
Cotton, actually, this movie isn't horrible. The actors are great. The props are good. Um, they don't really spend a lot of time of modernizing Encino Man from being stuck in Iceman. That they speed line that process. The
very
first act,
quickly. He learns English and
yeah, and after that he's playing video games and doing stuff, grabbing girls at the dances, putting them on his shoulder. Should have been an R-rated movie. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's just a horrible script.
yeah, it's just a bad written script. It didn't have good character arcs for the characters. It didn't have believable character arcs. They didn't give you enough. I don't know. They just didn't give you enough until the end. Okay, the part where he takes him to the side of the road and he's going to dump him off like a puppy that he doesn't want anymore and he can't take care of it. He can't handle the stress or whatever. I thought that was funny. I told you that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And then Brandon is walking down the road, well, in the Link, whatever his name is, was walking down the road with his skateboard and his stuff. And that's when Pauly Shore shows up. And Pauly Shore's like, you can't do this, man. You call him back, And then they start arguing. And it wasn't until they get in a fist fight and they're rolling around on the ground. It's the first time that you see Pauly Shore using violence in the movie, because this is a person who's totally, we don't do that. That ain't cool. All this different stuff. He's totally calm and collected all the time, right? And then you see him lose his gasket because he sees his best friend supposedly doing everything he said he wanted to do and doing the total opposite, right? So he's pissed off. And so that's when he comes running over and stops them from fighting. And you get to see all three of their character arcs meet, basically, because he says, we're family, that type of thing. So I like that scene. I thought it was a great scene. It's one of my favorite ones in the movie. And but the thing is, getting to that scene there was just so much chaos to get there, and I just felt so sorry for Sean's character because I just felt he was the most pitiful character in the movie
Yeah.
because he was nuts about a girl that thought he was a piece of shit. I mean, she treated him like dirt. I just wanted to grab him and shake him and say, "Wake up, guy! She's never gonna love you, and if she ever does pretend to love you and get you in there, she's just gonna use you and take everything from you and drain you like a vampire because she doesn't give a shit about you.
No.
Her actions have proved it." And I see so many people with so many bad relationships with someone just because they look, I got her on my arm. Big fucking woo, you know?
Like
Who
this,
cares what they look like? If they treat you like a dog, why would you want to be with them?
I want to
You know,
know
it's terrible.
what the process was for the script because you got George Zaloom, and apparently he was a primary writer on this. He did Heart of Darkness, Filmmakers Apocalypse, Psycho 2 in 1983,
Mhm.
and his best thing he's known for on his IMDb is apparently Encino Man
Yeah.
as a writer. The second individual that wrote on this is Sean Sheps, and she supposedly was a actress with a little bitty part in Terminator, which she also wrote the script for.
Hmm.
Um, I want to know what movies did they mesh together because this doesn't really work for me. It's not a bad film. It's not a horrible film. There's many worse films we've watched, like GI Jane.
I love that movie still too.
It's social fiction.
Mhm.
Um,
It's a movie, not supposed to be reality. It's
you're
not.
right. You're right. But when you watch that movie, if you have an ounce of military in you, if you
Mhm.
saw a jet take off once, you know that there's more fact in that 10-second clip of watching a jet get off the runway than the 2 hours of this movie. The only factual part of that movie is when she, the lieutenant, fucks up the navigation directions.
Mhm.
Uh, that's anyway. There's a script here that has a real problem, much like GI Jane. That's in
Mhm.
distress, and I don't know why this movie got made the way it was, except for the fact that Mitzi Shore, if we go back in time, Pauly Shore's mom, Mitzi, was a comedy lover to the point
Mhm.
she had a comedy store, and apparently a lot of Hollywood types funneled through her store, and they became actors and actresses after she got them the nod. She was
Mhm.
the pre Johnny Carson nod you needed to get to Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. This movie was
Were you
it's,
able to find anything to see whether or not he had any kind of contract where he had to get, they had to get him another movie? What, you couldn't find anything like that?
I didn't find anything like that, although I do know there's like 5 or 6 movies he did from 1991
Well,
to
I know that they
1997.
try to rush scripts in when they have a fire. You know, when they have an actor or something that, for some reason, let's say they had a tiny part in a movie, and all of a sudden that character, everyone's talking about it. Wow, they were so good in that movie. They will take that actor and try to find something quickly, get him in there while the iron's hot, right? Same thing with song,
Always do that.
lots of different things like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Somehow, because of his stand up and some of the things that Pauly Shore was doing, they said we got to get him in this movie. We got to get this movie with him because he's smoking right now. We're going to make some money. And then they begged Sean to be in the movie, even though he didn't want to because he hated the script. He thought it was a piece of shit. But then they got Brandon to take the part of the Link because they really thought he would do good, and I thought he was really good. I thought he did a really good job at the part where he's in the cave into the part where he becomes just a normal high school student, basically. It was real far fetched, but it was funny. And I don't expect the comedy to be like, on par. All of the stuff is exact, or anything like that. I never look at a comedy that way. So it was just bad. It was just not very well put together to bring them up and have good character arcs for the character. The one person in this movie that really did the best acting and played their character to the T was the girl that played as the bitchy girlfriend. That was
I
just
I loved Robin Tooney and I love Brendan
she was the
Fraser in
best
the
one
movie.
in it because she was the most believable for her lines, for her character arc, everything in this script. The way I'm seeing it, so you know, sad to say, but I kept waiting for the ground to open up and for him to find his life partner that he knew was down there somewhere or buried somewhere. I was shocked that as he learned and started to understand the world, that he wasn't out there trying to dig a hole, find her himself.
Yeah.
You know,
Um,
little things like that. It just to me, I had a hard time with it.
if you guys have seen this movie, put your ratings in the chat. We'll have Janet audibly say this, and don't super chat it. Put it in the chat. Just type it in normally.
Mhm.
Have Janet read it. And for right now, Wolfton Media
I haven't seen that movie. So
should. Okay, question two. Should we review Tammy and the T Rex?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. Never heard of it.
See, I love Pauly Shore. I think he's great. I think his mom was a good comedian. I don't think she was a good businesswoman. But I love Pauly Shore because what he was to me when I was 15.
Mhm. Yeah, it was funny. He had good stand up. That's why people liked him.
Yeah,
He was funny.
yeah.
It's
Um,
just that the way that they put these three in this movie, it just to me, just overall for a comedy, I just didn't think it worked very well. It had good scenes in it. And the whole scene where they're at the park and they're riding rides, I almost threw up a couple times because it was so you know how I am when I'm curving and doing all that stuff, I get motion sickness.
mhm.
So it was very believable and it was funny, but it just that is a Pauly Shore movie right there, that stuff. But then when it got to the other part, it was just it just didn't connect. I had a hard time. Maybe if they'd put someone else instead of Sean in that character, someone else. I don't know. I can't think of who I would have put it there. It might have been a way better movie. It's just that I could tell he just didn't seem like he wanted to be there. It just didn't seem, when he's standing there and he goes, "Oh, she smells good." It was almost like he was doing a cheesy commercial or something. I'm sorry. Kind
I
of
love
but
cheese,
I was like,
and the cheese is old and moldy. Yes, I get
I
it.
know, I saw that. It was funny. But
Um, there's worse. There's worse ways for you to spend an hour and a half.
mhm,
There's definitely
you
worse ways.
definitely laugh.
Yeah,
You're
you
definitely gonna
will.
laugh.
Uh,
And it's a couple really good, cute scenes in this movie.
Now it's got some cute stuff. It's got enough for you to want to understand why was it made.
Mhm.
Is it a quality film? You'll watch it once, maybe twice. Brendan Fraser, Robin Tooney, absolutely 8 or 9 out of 10 on acting and delivering with their script. They have the best arcs in the movie. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this uh, for those two.
Hmm.
Janet, we have a couple ratings in this.
Oh, okay. I see one. It says Wolf Media, a 5 out of 10, and Shadow and Sun. He's giving it a 3 out of 10. I'm right in there. The highest rating I would give this would be a 6, but I'm hanging at a 5 myself, a 5 out of 10. Simply because I just, even though they had great actors in this movie, good actors can't save a shitty, crappy script. They just can't. What was the movie we were talking about? The drawing one that we did, Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice.
I mean, I was in love with the whole movie. The beauty of the movie was breathtaking. I just absolutely loved it. And the music was breathtaking. I loved it. But the story was bad. It was a bad story. It didn't make any sense. It just didn't connect to my heart like I wanted it to be, with so much beauty in it. So, and that's what this is to me. I just had a hard time trying to connect everything and understand why these characters were here. Just didn't make any sense.
No.
But they were good actors at what they tried to do, and I applaud them for that because it is really hard to be a great actor in a bad movie. That's sad, but
So
and what
you're
was the young lady's name? Toonie.
yeah, Robin
She
Tooney.
was my favorite woman in the movie. I thought she was very believable as a young teenage girl that's hot to trot, and she sees this guy from out of town, and she's like, I'm getting him. That's all she wanted. She got her claws in there, and she was ready to get clubbed in the head and taken to the cave. I hate to say it that way because that sounds like maybe not good, but if you think about it in the way of the theme of the movie, that's where she was ready to go. She was wanting to go, and she looked like she had a great time in the movie.
She
She looked like
does.
she had fun.
Janet, I think you've missed a part of this movie. You might have gotten up. We're gonna get a community strike at this point, and I don't give a shit.
It's your
So
cave nug.
That isn't from the movie.
that is from the movie.
Who was in the bathtub?
That's the cave girl.
Oh yeah.
You didn't see this?
Yeah, buddy.
Did
No,
you
I
get
missed that part. Yeah, I had to
up? Okay.
because the dog was barking and I didn't want to interrupt
Okay.
the
So
movie.
you missed that part, but there's a
I
second
didn't
or
remember
third
that
place,
part.
and she emerges. She goes to take a bath in this place, and she gets that. They made for TV. There was a few edits they put into like a TV or director's cut.
Well, I'm sad I missed it because that was a fun scene.
That is a great scene. Um, what rating did we give Fire and Ice? I give it like a 75 or 80 because it's a part of my childhood.
Yeah, I
And
gave it an 8
Fire and Ice for me was
just
like
because it was everything about it was phenomenal. I just absolutely loved it. Everything. I
three
mean,
words speak.
except for the story was
Yeah.
just cluttered.
The that movie should have had like about 10 more minutes, and Tigra's father should have gone to war against the
Mhm.
ice wizard much earlier in the film, and I would have been a lot happier. That would have been a 9 out of 10 movie.
I would have given it higher.
Wolf Team Media says my favorite scene is in the museum, mostly because at the time I was a tyke. I want to be an archaeologist too. Everybody wants to be a dinosaur. What's your favorite dinosaur? Wolf Tin Media. And she is in the beginning. Yep, she is. Her name, by the way, is Sandra Hess. And
Yeah, the
she's,
girl in the very beginning.
yep,
That remember, it's what I told you. That's what hurt me so bad. That it would have been a wonderful script if they would have let him mourn the woman that was trapped somewhere, not very far from him. He got pulled out of the ground and thawed out. And if he could be done, why couldn't she? And she couldn't have been that far. They were in the same cave.
yep,
And the fact that they never, when he said he missed his family and stuff like that, they never tried to find out where she was. And that's what I was crushed about it. I was crushed. I thought that was sad that they didn't do that. Didn't
uh,
make sense to me.
I just received a book yesterday, Josh, and you saw me paging through it. It's the Fine Lines by Frank
Yeah,
Frazetta.
beautiful book. Oh,
Yeah,
gorgeous.
I'm absolutely over the moon with that book. It's
Mhm.
great.
It
It's
is.
wonderful, wonderful. Yours is Dilophosaur. Mine's the Ankylosaurus. I've always liked the Ankylosaurus because it's this little armored dinosaur with little spines inside.
Mhm.
He's got like a 1,500 pound Louisville Slugger for a tail.
Mhm. A lot of kids like that one.
Favorite
My
dinosaur?
favorite is a Triceratops.
Triceratops is badass too.
I've always loved it. As you can tell, that's my favorite dinosaur I bring out when we're playing in our game too.
You're one to summon. Yeah.
It's a kick-ass. It's a kick-ass dinosaur.
So there's a movie that. Oh wait, Janet,
Mhm.
what do you want to give this
Another?
movie for your rating?
Oh, I said that it would be a 5 out of
Five,
10. Remember?
5 out of 10.
Yeah, and
The
only not because of the acting,
No.
And not because of the the sets or anything like that. It's only because there was too many gaps in the script for me to really love and want to see these characters get somewhere, that they had no character arcs. Basically, there was nothing. The only arc in the movie was when they all become, they figure out that fighting for each other is better than fighting against each other,
Yeah.
at the scene where he's about to trying to kick him down the road like a puppy. Uh,
I
and it was sad because it could have had so much potential, it could have had, but for some reason they dropped the ball on it.
I wanted to love this movie. I really did, and I think
Right.
there's a lot about it that's absolutely savable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny, before the release of this movie, after they got into pre-production, they find Otzi in the Swiss Italian Alps, which is like another caveman that was found in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Wolf's like, yeah, I used to love the Stegosaurus. That one's got little spikes on the tail. The Thagomizer. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm talking
Yeah, I think I have one somewhere in there because I have a lot of little dinosaurs too, collectibles.
You know, Six Nations, 31 Kings. I thought you said freaking Morningstar dildo. Oops.
I know everybody's thinking about dildos because of the basketball stuff. I thought that was hilarious, but
I Yeah. You gotta get your hazmat and Tyvek suit on if you're gonna go get the dildo off the court now, because they're not allowing bags. How else are they plugging them in?
they're somewhere.
Yeah, it's tucked
And they're
in
not
somewhere.
patting people down, from what I heard. They don't want to grope anyone.
Yeah, this is a movie that could be a lot better. Tree Rock.
Yeah,
Uh,
it would
I'm
be nice. I would like to see an AI fan edit. I bet it would be damn good, honestly.
it's got to have a new script and just get the mouth syncing. Okay, if the mouth flaps like that Spanish girl in Vanilla Sky, and it doesn't look right, I'll be okay no matter what. It's okay.
Yeah. No, I
I
think that the AI is getting better, that you're going to have a lot more really good edits by fans now with AI. Better AI.
I'm fearful of AI. It's out of the bottle. Can't fucking
Well,
fix it.
can't put it
Um,
back now. Might as well use it for our needs,
God
right?
damn it, Boromir. We're not supposed to use the ring against Sauron. Stop that. Okay. I think this movie is a 5.3. A little bit better than what Janet is, but I
Mhm.
think the things that save this movie for me is the props, the actors themselves, the props, the locations are good.
Mhm.
If it would be a movie that I was already discussing, it could definitely happen. And already they're talking about making a sequel. Cotton. They're talking about making a sequel 20, 30 years later, because all three actors have expressed consent and desire to make a sequel to Encino Man. How did things evolve? Did Caveman?
Because of the cult following.
Yeah,
It makes a difference.
it does.
It does. It can over time. Hmm.
So I mean, it's a 5.3 for me. The script is the biggest offender. It's a good film. It just requires a script. That's all. It'd be a fine movie for a good script to be located and found for it. Maybe when Sean Astin comes out of the woods again, he'll have found a script. Uh, this movie, when I was 18 or 19, if I'd seen
Hmm.
this movie when I was a young man, I probably would have loved this movie, much like I love the movie The Cowboy Way. And if you ever want to see a funny video, go back to like episode 4 when we reviewed The Cowboy Way, because Janet and I both saw that in theaters, not together, in '94 when it was
And we
released.
loved it then.
Loved it. I thought it was like the new coming of Christ. Like, this is a great movie.
Hmm.
And we're watching it again. I'm like,
Well, I didn't like it so much.
trying not to have a seizure. I would
Yeah.
be in less pain if I ate a half gallon of ice cream within 3 seconds and like just had the brain get coated by the permafrost, and need a good writer for the sequel. Good luck. Yes. Yeah.
But
I
see, Sean could help write it. All
Sean's
three of
really a good
them
writer.
now, after all this time, all three of them could write the script.
Mm-hmm.
They could sit down and write a really good script and fill in some gaps. Have a new adventure.
So there is a movie that we're watching next week. And some of you may have heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Mickey Rourke?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the movie. But yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need sploshins.
Because I don't have my paper with me, the one that you gave me.
What am I
It's
gonna do?
somewhere in here. The one you
What
gave
am I
me
going to do with you?
with the movie list on it.
So let me hit play. There we go. And yep, we'll probably get a strike here. We're gonna talk to you about this because this movie's been on my
What year did this come out?
Captain Stanley White, commander of the 5th Precinct and the most decorated cop in New York City, has declared war on Chinatown.
I got a complaint about you already.
Today, there were 43 gang arrests, 3 gambling parlors raided, 6 sweatshops busted.
You were only meant to shake up the gang kids.
And now,
Mickey Rourke as a young man.
Mm-hmm. But what's the name of the movie?
Year of the Dragon.
Year of the Dragon. Okay, because I was like,
opening blow.
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
So
It was
At the
recommended
man
to
who's
us.
been called the Godfather of Chinatown, Joey Tai.
And I
Mr. Tai,
figured that else
can you
was
tell us if
something
there is
of
such a thing as the
film
Chinese
quality.
mafia? Mr. Tai, what is your comment? Mr. Tai, do you have any comment?
This movie got overshadowed at the theaters by Scarface.
Let me make this real
he
clear
said
to
mute
you
it.
right here and
Mute
now.
it and you won't
Joey
get trouble.
Tai goes to the
And you can just talk about it.
mayor goes to me, and the word is lay off.
You think gambling,
It looks
extortion, corruption are kosher?
Because I've never seen it before. What's it
What
about?
Chinese
anyway?
mafia?
The gangland film.
The mafia?
The
Investigation's in your
Mafia.
mind. These people are the biggest importers of heroin in this
So it
country.
looks like
The point here
Chinese
is you
mafia.
cease and
I'm
desist.
okay with this.
Nobody wants to win this thing, do you?
You don't like it, resign.
Maybe everybody's right. I'm chasing.
Ugh,
It's in San Francisco. Is that the San Francisco Bridge?
that is not. That is fucking New York.
Oh, it's New York. Okay, well, until I don't go to
You
either one of those.
see these
Oh,
things
the
here?
Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it now. But I was
see
looking
this-
at the bridge.
Janet, I see this shit, and like a part of me inside reminds myself that I can't go there.
Chasing something that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
This is
wasn't
not the
he in
Bronx
9.5
or
Weeks or
Brooklyn.
something?
Say again?
Wasn't he in that movie where they 9.5 weeks? Where they
don't
they
know.
have sex in the after eating out of the refrigerator? Him and Kim Basinger.
Chad.
What was the name of that movie? Because I thought it was him. Wasn't it that actor?
I don't know. I don't know everything as much as I'd like to.
That's all right. I asked so many questions.
It's not even New York. It's Chinatown, play. Can be very easy or it can be very hard.
So it is a Chinese mafia. Oh, see all the bullet
You care
holes
too
behind him
much,
in the
Stanley.
wall, and he didn't get shot.
Anybody cared so much?
That's amazing.
It is.
So yeah, so that's what we're gonna watch next week.
Next week we're watching this.
Year of the Dragon. Okay, I'm ready. But we need to look up what it is, what it's about.
Just remind me how
9.5 weeks. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, because that's what I said. It's Kim Basinger movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just know that bridge. I know those towers. I've seen.
Well, I didn't see the towers. I was just looking at the bridge, and I was like, "It's at night." So is that San Francisco Bridge? I've only been to San Francisco twice in my whole life, so The second time I went to Alcatraz and I was on The Price is Right.
That'd be kind of fun.
It was. It was for my birthday.
This is on the list for next year's springtime.
I've never seen it.
Rock, get in touch with Janet, and she'll bring you in so you can watch it and screen it with us.
Yeah, you guys, if you any of you that want to watch the movie with us next week at 12:30 Central Time, just send us a message before that. Then let us know, and we'll make sure we send you a link, and you can join us and watch the movie because it's a lot of fun. And we sit. Sometimes it takes a long time, but we sit and talk about it afterward. What we liked, what we didn't. What it reminded us
We had a
of. Blah blah blah.
discussion today, which was like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So, depending on how many people are in there, and we just talk about it, it's a lot of fun. It's very informative because we learn a lot of things that we didn't even know. So. Yeah, it's great.
That pretty much, like, we gave a rating. We gave you guys our views on things. I know
Summary of it.
The summary. We also talk about a lot of other stuff. Like, if you ever want to know what Bruce thought of the D&D movie, if you've never heard me rant about that before, or what do I think about Brie Larson? Like, in another time and place, she's probably well loved and just a quiet housewife and with kids, and doesn't try to be a boss cunt, a boss slag. Excuse me. Because she did let Kevin Feige in. Let the right one in. So we've got Tammy and the T-Rex. I've got to fit into our...
Because I've never heard of it.
Oh.
Who's in it? Who stars in it?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, no. Okay.
What?
Is it a cartoon?
No.
Oh. And she has a real T-Rex in the movie?
What?
Did she find a real T-Rex?
She kind of does, yeah.
Is it a person?
No. Oh, I mean, a costume, but it's a practical special effects showcase.
I don't. It's going over my head. I don't understand any of it. What you're saying? She puts a costume on and runs around.
There's a person in a T-Rex costume. Yes.
Okay. So in her imagination, someone follows her around that looks like a T-Rex.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to imagine what it is because I have to look it up and see.
What's the first Sunday of November? Because first Sunday of November is the 2nd. Okay. I'm typing in Taming the T-Rex now.
Yeah, they said that Pauly Shore's performance in Encino Man won him the Razzie Award for the worst new star. I just read that. I didn't know that. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did know that?
Yeah, I did. There's some things on, if you scroll down far enough on IMDb or on Wikipedia, you find stuff that are easy to find, and if you do deeper sets of research, it'll be okay.
Well, when we used to have a week in between, I had a lot of time to dig around and get some really good, juicy details. But, I don't have it. I only have like 20 minutes, if that. So I didn't have time to dig around until now.
So if one of these days goes in and if we watch Carnosaur, like, all the bad elements of Aliens and Jurassic Park were made into one film. And there's a scene where there's one of the little raptors, like, slaps a person.
Mm-hmm.
And when they slap them, like, you can see that the claw is made of rubber because it's not well shot. It doesn't, like, claw and rip into it. It goes limp.
It bends. It bends
like a piece of Ben Franklin dime store fucking plastic rubber
paper.
Like, it's the worst special effects I've ever seen.
In this T-Rex movie is the one we're gonna watch.
I want to say yes, but no, it's not.
Oh,
I wish it was. I love Carnosaur. It's a horrible movie. It's,
I never
it's
heard of
on.
that one either. I know.
Uh,
Remember when a couple times you've taken me? Bruce has taken me to this website with all these really bad movies on it. I mean, so many movies. I've never seen so many bad movies. I'd never heard of any of them, and they have the cheesiest, worst pictures on all the boxes for the movie. I'm like, okay, now I understand why these
nice,
movies just pop up, because
nice.
they're your movies, the ones that you love, and then you gripe about the ones I choose. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, hon, but I really think I have a way better taste in movies than you do, even though you've seen like 10,000 more movies than me. Like, I will never buy a ticket to see the Cocaine Grizzly Bear movie,
No,
or the Hundreds of Beavers,
and
or
and the Cocaine Bear. The best part about the
yeah,
movie is
Cocaine Bear. Oh my
after you
god, you
watch
gotta be
Cocaine Bear,
kidding.
after you've seen a bear snort like two or three fucking square groupers, after you see that, like you still have like at the very end of the movie of blood and gore, in loving memory of Ray Liotta. It's so bad.
But see, I love Children of the Corn. That was good.
This looks like a good one. It's Popeye's Revenge.
I don't think so.
You got Leprechaun 2, you got Leprechaun Back to the Hood, Leprechaun 3. You got Winnie Pooh Blood and Honey.
Yeah, I have no interest, and I love horror movies, but these
You
don't
got
even look
Piglet.
like that movie with Demi Moore where she drinks the stuff and her younger self comes out.
Yep.
Now that's a horror movie that I would like to see, but it's not a. I don't.
You didn't
I
watch it
wouldn't
yet?
rate it. No, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen The Substance yet.
Mm-mm.
Are you?
I want to.
Wow.
I want to see it.
You should, because that movie is really fucking good.
The Substance.
That's one of the best movies that we've had released in the last 7 years. Very easily.
The movie with that I got you to watch, Mr. Brooks. See, that was a damn good movie, and you'd never even thought of it. And it had, look how many good actors were in it.
Here's
Wow.
one I want to see. It's
In the Midnight.
movie.
Yeah,
Andrew
my mom liked him.
Charles Bronson, Gene Davis, Lisa Eilbacher. Wilford Brimley's in this movie. We're going to watch this at some point. Add to my list. Thank you. Oh, and Columbiana's there? Yeah, we'll do that too, because that's a horrible film with Zoe Saldana. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is on here.
Yeah, remember I told you I want to put Terror Train on the list. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis, but it also has David Copperfield in it. The actual, magician is in the movie.
Just clicking through. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take you guys through a tour of the movies. Oh no!
You need to put that on there.
No!
What's the bulk?
You're not watching The Incredible Bulk. Oh my!
What is it? Is it a porn?
No,
I don't want to watch any porn.
It's worse. It's worse than a porn because it's a movie.
Willy's Wonderland is worse than a porn.
On green screen. It's all on green screen, and so all the motions that the character's doing, and they're trying to show kinetic action, they're just running in place.
Yeah.
And your brain is like, no, that's not right. Stop. And they're trying to scroll scenery across the green screen and do stuff, and you're going, stop. It's making me hurt. And you have 95 minutes of this. 95 minutes of your brain going, stop. I know they're not moving. Stop that. I can't watch this.
Yeah.
We haven't spoofed HR Puff and stuff yet, have they? No, they haven't. They haven't. You just saw me clicking on things for what we're going to watch later on, but Pooh, Blood, and Honey, I think that's going to be a fine. Somebody wrote an Incredible Hulk comic book, and Marvel was like, no, and they decided to turn it into a movie with bad green screen with a purple Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. It sounds really bad.
He's like, stop downplaying it. Stop making me think you got really down syndrome. God damn it, kid. So it's very different. It's a very difficult movie, but I recommend with all my heart, get a Tubi account, everybody.
Yeah, this Lloyd Christmas guy comes in here out of nowhere and starts telling us that we have to do what the chat tells us to do.
There's a lot of good movies that are out there. You don't have to watch the
I'm
newest
not
stuff.
saying all B movies are bad because there's a lot of them that I like. It's just that when you took me to that one website and I was like, I never seen so many bad movies on one page. I just couldn't believe it. It was shocking, but it was funny.
It's like Janet getting to see like my magazine collection. Like it's got awkward real quick.
Yeah. Or me going into your one room that you used to have on your Discord, and I'm like, "What this place?" And I was like, "Holy
It's
crap!"
a dark place. Don't go
Yeah,
there.
and I posted a few pictures in there, not of me, of other people, but it was funny just to go in there going, "Holy crap, you guys are dark."
What about Star Kid? God no.
Oh,
I'd rather watch.
I never heard of Star Kid
Wars.
either.
I'd rather watch Turkish Star Wars than that. Because Turkish Star Wars, there's a
Never
reason.
heard of that one either.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It is 5:30 my time.
You got to go to bed.
Yeah, I got to get some sleep, and I need to figure out how much alcohol I need to get there.
I gotta go get me some vegetables or something. But
it's on par with the Titanic. Come back next week, guys. We're watching The Year of the Dragon with Mickey Rourke. It looks like
and you can watch it with us.
Please contact Janet. She'll get you the tickets for the balcony. And until then.